Hey everyone, for our Prof 504 inquiry assignment, we have chosen a topic relating to outdoor experiential education practices. More specifically, our project will pose a solution to a persistent problem in outdoor education that potentially impacts students' relationships with nature as a whole.
So, what is our problem? Well, I'm glad you asked. Do you remember going on an outdoor nature-related field trip when you were in elementary school? Perhaps a trip to a conservation park to learn about habitats, or to a museum to learn about biodiversity. While these trips may have been curriculum-oriented, chances are there was not much of a lasting connection built between yourself as a student and nature. This short-term experience that happened once or twice a school year was not enough to foster a long-lasting appreciation of our natural environment. While these trips are still great experiences for students, we have thought of a way that outdoor education can be consistently implemented throughout the school year.
The solution we have come up with is introducing a form of citizen science to the classroom. Simply put, citizen science is when people volunteer their time collecting data that can be used in research to help inform various conservation efforts. The form of citizen science we are interested in is through combining birding or bird watching with bird data collection. This will be done through the iPhone and Android app and website eBird.
So, how does the eBird app work? eBird Canada is managed by the organization Birds Canada and is a collaborative project between the Cornell Lab of Ornithology and Quebec Oiseau. eBird differs slightly from bird identification apps such as Merlin, as eBird is used specifically for collecting data about species rather than bird identification. To log into the eBird app, students will need a Cornell Lab account, which can be created by selecting Create Account on the app. We would encourage having students create their own individual accounts so that they can feel more of a sense of responsibility and ownership over collecting data. Once in the app, students will start a checklist, which is the start of their birding adventure for the day. By starting a checklist, it will automatically record the date and how much time they spent birding. From there, they input the bird or birds that they have seen, searching them up by name or selecting from the drop-down list. Students can select the amount of each bird species they saw and even write a description. Students should be encouraged to be as specific as possible, as the more detailed reports will be able to help bird conservation efforts even more. After inputting the location of their birding adventure, they can go to the checklist section in the app, click the ebird.org link, log in, and upload photos by clicking the Add Media button. By clicking on the species name from their own checklist, students will have the opportunity to explore data about the species based on information inputted by other eBirders.
Like with any new technology being introduced to the classroom, there are bound to be some considerations based on our learners. Although we have introduced eBird as a way to bring animal conservation out of just being a classroom activity, some students may have a lack of technology or internet access at home to even access the platform. These students should be given the opportunity to record their observations in their Cornell account once they get to school and be encouraged to observe observations in a written way at home or a verbal way like a voice recorder device. Making citizen science accessible for students will also increase their interest in it.
However, depending on where students' homes are located, for example, a suburban area with forests around or an apartment in a city, they may be discouraged by a lack of birds or exciting new species of birds. Students should then be reminded that conservation of any species is important and perhaps be encouraged to find out more about the history and biology of a common bird species in their environment.
Our inquiry project is focused on K to grade 8 target audience. So it is key to remember that our younger students will likely be unable to bird from anywhere except outside their window, unless they are supervised by an adult. This is why it is important for us as educators to still allow time at school for citizen science with eBird, so all students feel as included as possible.
Despite potential challenges depending on the school or area, we feel that this free app offers opportunities for children to engage with nature in a way that makes it meaningful and fosters longer-lasting connections with the natural world, as they can continue exploring with the app outside of school and into future years. Additionally, discussing the importance of why and how the data is used will allow children to feel that they are contributing to something bigger than themselves. This would support their desire to make a difference and could promote long-term involvement and interest in conservation and citizen science efforts. All of this to say that we feel using the eBird app could assist in fostering significant, long-lasting connections with the natural world.
Thank you!